and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books, and welcome to the second in the 6 Tudor Queens vlog series, which is me reading the 6 Tudor Queens books, the books about the 6 wives of Henry VIII. I've already done a Katherine of Aragon one of these. I will link that down below, so if you want to start from the beginning, go ahead and start there. But yeah, this is the beginning of me reading the Anne Boleyn book, Anne Boleyn, A King's Obsession. So you may notice from this t-shirt that I'm a fan of the musical 6, which is a musical about the 6 wives of Henry VIII, and following my love for that and learning all the songs and doing all of that, I decided to read the 6 Tudor Queens books. So during this vlog I'll be reading and discovering about Anne Boleyn from this fictionalised version of historical events and of Anne Boleyn's life, and I'll also be dressing like and styling my hair and doing my makeup like Anne Boleyn, who is this little green one right down the middle from 6 the musical. So that's what today is. I'm also going to tell you, so I haven't started the book yet, I'm so excited. I'm also going to tell you what I actually know about Anne Boleyn. My hair still feels a little bit damp. Shall I do my makeup first? No, I'll dry my hair and then I'll come back and tell you what I already sort of know about Anne Boleyn. There we go, dry. So I'm going to be styling myself on that of Anne Boleyn. And in the musical, I've seen 6 the musical 3 times, and every single time has been the UK tour cast. Not the current tour cast. I'm filming this in May 2022. This was the tour cast, I think, that changed over in March 2022, and the actor that I've seen play Anne Boleyn is Madison Bulliman, who I think is absolutely amazing. And they wear their hair, they've got very long brown hair with 2 space buns, which is how all of them, I will insert a picture of Madison here, and I'm going to do that. So I'm going to straighten my hair within an inch of its life, which never usually happens, and then I'm going to do the 2 little space buns up the top. I haven't decided, so the space buns that the Anne Boleyns wear in 6 are actually got like a bit of black material, probably a bit like this sort of like fake leatherette with studs in that go around there. I'm not going to do that, I'm just going to wear it a bit more wearable. But yeah, let's get on with straightening my hair, and I'll get on with telling you what I know about Anne Boleyn. But shall I close the door because the washing is going absolutely wild? I think I'm going to have to. Let me go and do that. Well, that's much better, and you can actually see one of the I don't know what colours you can see because it's in the shadows, but that's one of the things that I'll be wearing this week, dressing as Anne Boleyn. I'm just decided to start my Anne Boleyn journey in my 6 the musical t-shirt today. So what do I know about Anne Boleyn already? No, she was beheaded, know that from the rhyme. I also know a little bit more about her than I did when I started this process, because her story overlaps with that of Katherine of Aragon. So she was the queen who sort of usurped Katherine from the throne. Henry fell in love with her, and she sort of kept herself to herself until like she didn't shag him basically until he said that he would make her queen. What I will say about the 6 Tudor Queens book, the Katherine of Aragon one that I've read, is that Anne Boleyn is not painted in a very good light. So I'm interested to see what happens in this second book and how she comes off. I know that she died young, which is also something that excites me, because Katherine of Aragon, it excites me that she died young, that's not what I meant. But the Katherine of Aragon book was the same size as this, but she had a much longer life. And one thing I will say about the Katherine of Aragon book, though I very much enjoyed it, which I did, sometimes I felt like we were just sort of getting through plot points and being like, oh, and then this happened, and then this person came in, and then this happened, and then this person was my lady in waiting. But because this is a much shorter period of time, I'm expecting to get a bit more of a delve into Anne as a character. So she died young, I don't know how young, and I know that she was also mother of Elizabeth I, who was queen. The big red-headed, like the one who's sort of like iconic red-headed queen, I think that's Elizabeth I. My history is not great. And yeah, what else do I know? Oh, and I also thought, although this wasn't mentioned, obviously Katherine died before anything more could happen, but I also thought that she was beheaded due to because of something to do with witchcraft. So I'm interested to find that out. And I also believe that her brother is beheaded at the same time that she is. Anything else? Oh, the actual queen Anne Boleyn in Six the Musical, because each of the queens is styled on sort of like a singer or a female sort of icon, and this one, and Anne Boleyn is styled on Lily Allen or Kate Nash or Avril Lavigne, sort of like my jam in the early 2000s. My god, I loved Kate Nash so much. I like, basically my whole image was that of Kate Nash, so yeah. I very much enjoy her songs in it as well. So I also, just another little sneaky fact about her is that I believe Henry had the song Greensleeves composed for Anne Boleyn. I think that's where the song Greensleeves, you know, dun 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 dun. Is that Greensleeves? I think that was composed for Anne Boleyn. Right, we're getting there with the straightening, and then we're going to slip them into space buns. So come back for space bun time. Well, there we go. I look a bit like Baby Spice at the moment, but that's about to be changed because we're about to space bun this up. Just trying to think if there's anything else I know about Anne Boleyn that I've learnt from the... Oh, she had a sister who was also in court. I think the sister also maybe had some dealings with Henry as well. And she was also, I think she was sort of brought up in the, well, I know that from the song, brought up in the French courts, bonjour. So yeah, she was brought up in the French court. So I don't know if that was part of the allure of her. Let's get that wrapped around. I'm so excited to read it. There we go. Right, okay. So they're not ideal, and in this case, well, I mean, they're quite cute. It would probably be best if I did have something around them to keep them secure, but we're just going to go with tiny little baby space buns because my hair is like tiny little Baby Spice. Oh, don't get that caught. That's going round. See, the thing is, one looks like an ear, the other one looks like a space bun. Can I go backwards? Will that make it look less like an ear and more like a space bun? Oh, that's a little bit, yeah, that is better. It's still bigger though. Oh, they are cute. They are cute. That one definitely looks bigger. I need to have a bit of a manoeuvre around with this guy. Although maybe it is just bigger. Can I pin that guy down? You can see I need my roots doing. Lucky I'm getting my roots done next week. I look like I've got brown hair with two little... There we go, that's pretty equal, isn't it? The hair is done. And let's move on to the makeup. I'll do my base coat first because you don't have to sit through that. Right, so I've done my base, my cheeks and my eyebrows. So I've been through the annals of my makeup to find stuff that's green. The only green thing I could find is this green Urban Decay eyeshadow, which has barely been used. Zodiac is the, shall I bring it over to you like we're real makeup vloggers? This is the colour of it. So it's very sort of shimmery green. And I've got a feeling on the times that I have worn it, and let's go in with it, I really don't normally wear dark eyeshadows. So this is gonna be unusual. I think it's almost, oh, it's lovely. It's almost black, just with like green shimmers in it. Oh, it's really nice. I don't know if it suits me, but it's really nice. So the most recent time I went to see Six the Musical was in February with my friend Jenny. I stepped in for her mum at the last minute, and they had such good tickets, I could see the eyeshadow and the makeup of the queens that were on stage, and they all looked amazing, and they've all got eyeshadow that matches their sort of like characters. Right, that's that put on. Now I'm going to blend. I really like this. I wonder if this will stay green. Maybe this is the moment where I start wearing dark eyeshadow, so I'm just going to blend it out a bit. I am no expert on blending or anything. Let's have a look. Keep blending. Keep blending. That's gone a bit in the corner. This is going to be quite a heavy makeup look because in the musical it says, though my sleeves may be green but my lipstick's red. So I'm going to wear this green eyeshadow, which is dark, which is unlike what I normally wear anyway. Maybe needs a little bit more blending, with red lipstick. So it's going to be quite a heavy makeup look, which is not normally what I do. Let me blend this closer. I'm happy with it, although I can already say it's gone from being green when I first put it on to being sort of dark black grey with sort of green glitter in it. Let's put some mascara on. I'm using Essence Lash Princess, which is it's the best mascara you'll ever get your hands on for, I think it's about £3 from Wilko's, and all of their makeup is cruelty free. So yeah, what an absolute bargain. So I'm gonna put some mascara on with this, and then I'll put my red lipstick on. I don't even recognise myself with these dark eyes. Well, there we go. Like I said, I don't even recognise myself with the dark eyes. And then I've got a red lipstick. I've got this Lisa Eldridge lipstick in Velvet Ribbon, and it really is beautiful, but I've just got an issue where I can't use lipsticks without snapping them off. So I have to have it very low down when I apply it, and it's lovely and red. It goes on really nice and matte. It's very Christmassy, but I'm just not very good at application. Yeah, it's a strong makeup look. And the last thing I wanted to do was just add, oh, I've just realised I've got these green earrings here. Maybe I'll wear these as well. Is it a bit much? I think it might be a bit much with everything else. Right, so I've got here a necklace that I bought secondhand on Depop, which has just got an L initial on it. So in the musical, and also in pictures of Anne Boleyn, including the picture that I've got on the front of my 6 Tudor Queens book. Let's have a look. You'll see that she has an initial necklace on, and I've seen that in other adaptations as well, and so I've got an initial necklace with an L on it. So there's my look. I guess the best thing to do now is to go and read the first chapter of 6 Tudor Queens. Find out what's happening. Shall I tell you the first line? She hasn't got her glasses on, but let's have a go. Her skin was rather sallow, Anne thought as she studied herself in the silver mirror, and she had too many moles, but at least her face was a fashionable oval. Can agree, face is oval, not like my lovely round face. Will we read the first chapter? Well, first of all, we will read the first chapter, but I've just had a little look at the old family tree. What I enjoy about the Katherine of Aragon book and this is that they have a family tree, and then they also have a timeline at the back, which I sort of keep up to date with. I don't read ahead so as not to spoil history. And they've also got a dramatis personae, which mentions every character that's mentioned as well, so I keep up to date with that. But let me tell you, hell of a lot of Thomases going on. Anne Boleyn's father was called Thomas, her mother's brother was called Thomas, her grandfather, you guessed it, called Thomas. And it also looks as though here, if I'm right, Henry VIII's father, Henry VII, he married Elizabeth. Elizabeth's sister, Anne, married Thomas, whose sister married Thomas Boleyn. So many Thomases. So there's some sort of like cousin like something's going on there. There's some, I mean, no blood, I don't think. No blood. Although, yeah, sister's blood. They're related somehow. But yeah, let's get on with it. So as I said, we're cracking on with 1512. I'm very excited, and I've got a cookie here. I'll let you know what I learn at the end. Just me and Minnie hanging out on the sofa, finished the first chapter. So it all kicks off in 1512 when Anne is 11. There's no actual recorded date of her birth. They think she was born around 1509. And Henry VIII is already on the throne. And Anne's father, Thomas, is very much in favour with Henry. Anne has an older sister, Mary, who is said to be more beautiful than her, but they're already talking about, like, they're already sexualizing these teenagers. One's, well, not even in Anne's case, she's 11 and her sister's 13, and she's just been told that she's going to go to court to be, well, they don't use the term lady in waiting, but to work with the Queen's sister, and go to the Netherlands. It's all set at Hever Castle, which is somewhere we visited last year. David and I went to Hever Castle last year. It was my dad's 60th birthday, and we rented a place nearby there. It was ever so hot. It was so warm. It was in July. And we went there and looked around the grounds, and then David and I got tickets to go in the castle, the rest didn't. Sorry, Minnie, you've got a big tangle there. I'm just trying to do it while I'm talking to you. So it's all set there. There's also talk, so you know I mentioned I thought there was something to do with witchcraft involved with her. So straight away they mentioned, literally on the second page, that she's got a second fingernail on her little finger. And they say that it's and she's been teased for it before by her brothers, and it says that it's a witch mark, and she's quite conscious of it, and she wants to wear long sleeves to cover it up and things like that. So I don't know if that's gonna, I imagine that will come back at some point when Henry's trying to get her killed, probably, that she's got a witch mark. But yeah, I think that's about it. So yeah, I didn't realise that when we'd start and Henry was already king. So already because like a lot of the Catherine of Aragon book was obviously Catherine marrying Arthur. Oh, bye, Minnie. So yeah, I need to have a little look at the timeline. But we're next going into 1513 and 1514. She's just moved over there to Sulk. So yeah, I think I will read a little bit more, you know. What time is it? Let's find out. Oh, I've got plenty of time. I'm going to read some more. I've got my first Anne Boleyn themed outfit on. Guys, it looks like a top. It's not a top. It's not a dress. It's an all-in-one. Do you know what? I bought this second-hand on Depop. I don't know where it was from originally. There's no labels in it or anything. This I thought would match this sort of like, I don't even know what the sort of pattern this is. Maybe like Greek or something. But I thought it would match the sort of green. This is very similar to the green. I'll put a picture of Anne Boleyn in 6 here. Would match that. And also the squares. She has like a sort of squares. But I thought this was very similar. And also she doesn't have a high neck. But I quite liked this as a sort of almost like the bee in her necklace. And though her sleeves may be green, she's got it all under control. So there we go. So it's now the next day. Chapter 2, here we go, over here. Chapter 2 of A King's Obsession, Anne Boleyn, took quite a long time. It actually spanned 2 years, 1513 and 1514. What I said, I think in the first clip, is that I thought that Anne was going to go and help be at court for the Queen, for the King Henry VIII's sister. That wasn't what was happening. She was actually going to be a, well, it's called a fille d'honneur, which I translate, because I know French, as an honour girl. I don't know that much French. But she actually now is with Queen Margaret. Is it Queen Margaret? I've forgotten the name of the princess. Princess Mary, sorry. She's now with Princess Mary in France, because Princess Mary has been wed to Louis the 7th? Louis the... I can't remember. He's old. I remember it very clearly from... I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. I remember it very clearly from the Spanish princess thing. He's married... Oh, come on, I need to know, don't I? Anyway, she's also met King Louis of France. I don't know what number he is. She's also met properly Henry VIII now. He came to court where she was working as a sort of lady-in-waiting. And she met him then, and he showed quite a lot of interest in one of the other girls. Etienne, I think her name was, or Etiennette. Etiennette. It's a French name, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But yeah, she's met him, and she was sort of like a bit scathing of him actually, because, and a bit scathing of Etienne or Etiennette, because she kissed him on the lips, and she was like, oh my God, but he is married. So funny, isn't it? That, oh, my little space one's a bit awkward, a bit offset. Funny that that's what she feels now, but later on is the person who breaks down that marriage. But yeah, so she's now going to Paris, and they're talking about how wonderful the courts are in France, and she can speak French. Also, something I thought she was French. So I knew that like she grew up in the French courts, but I actually thought she was French. I didn't realise. I think maybe because Boleyn sounds a bit French to me, but she's not French. She's from England, but just spent a lot of time there growing up. But now her and her sister, so she hasn't been with her sister all this time, but now her and her sister are going to be joining Princess Mary to be her ladies-in-waiting there. So yeah, so the next chapter starts on 1515. I've also painted my nails green. Look at that. That is from, can I get a good picture of it? This is Barry M High Vis. It's like the neon one. It took 3 coats, but this is literally the green I wanted, so very pleased about that. Also, yesterday, before I went round my friend's house for dinner, I wanted to start sort of like taking in some more Anne Boleyn content. So I started watching The Tudors. Now, The Tudors is a TV show which stars Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, who I always want to call Rhys fans, Jonathan Rhys-Meyers as Henry VIII, and follows his sort of reign, but actually starts when he's already married to Catherine of Aragon and Mary has been born. So we're now, so Anne Boleyn hasn't even, so I'm only halfway through the first episode. I don't know if I'm loving it that much, to be honest. I think because I enjoyed The Spanish Princess so much, I'm sort of having to rejig my mind. It's a bit like, yeah, I'm gonna see how I get on, but I haven't finished the first episode because I ended up having to go to my friend's house. So I'll finish the first episode at some point this weekend. And yeah, then let you know how I feel. But Anne Boleyn isn't even in that yet, but I know, although it's like quite a lot of series, the majority of it is, the majority of what you're focusing on is of Anne Boleyn as his wife. Like I've noticed that, so Natalie Dormer, who plays Anne Boleyn in this, is in like something like 28 episodes, but Joss Stone, who plays Anne of Cleves, is only in 5 episodes, as is the actress who plays Kathy Parr. So yeah, I know it's gonna, so I thought I would watch up until Anne Boleyn with the Tudors before I carry on watching a bit more once the Jane Seymour book kicks in. So that's the sort of watching I've got planned. But yeah, dressed like her, reading like her. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna go and take a photo of me by the bookshelves now, wearing my Anne Boleyn outfit. Well, seeing as I'm all dressed up like Anne Boleyn, and I've got a little bit of garlic skin in between my toes. I'll put that there so I can put it in the bin. Oh, I've dropped it. I think I'll read the next chapter, which is chapter 3, set in 1515. And the first line states, Anne finally arrived in Paris on a cold day at the beginning of January, weeks later than planned. Let's find out what Anne gets up to in gay Paris. Well, there we go. 1514, I think that was, or was it 1515? That was a bit of 1515. We're now going into chapter 4, which is 1515 to 1516. She is now, oh, it's all been happening, guys. So, when she gets there, King Louis's dead. She's thinking, oh, well, this is a bit of a shitter. I've left a court that I really enjoy being a lady in waiting for, to join Princess Mary, who's married King Louis, who's now died, and I'm just sat in a room mourning with the princess, who I don't really know. Her sister's there. She talks about how she's pleased that her and her sister haven't been arguing. Also, what I should have mentioned from chapter 1 is that her mother and father are not in a happy relationship at all. They don't talk to one another, and they're sort of like, yeah, they don't get on and they don't love each other at all. Yeah, then Princess Mary, this is all sort of stuff that I'm familiar with, having read the Catherine of Aragon book and having seen The Spanish Princess. Princess Mary marries Charles Branson, who is always depicted as a very handsome man in both book and TV programmes that I've seen. In The Tudors, I think he's Henry Cavill. I don't know the actor who played him in The Spanish Princess. Anyway, poor old bloody Mary Boleyn. I must also watch this month The Other Boleyn Girl. I've also got the audiobook of it on Libby, and I might get around to listening to it as well. But I definitely want to watch the film of it. Mary Boleyn's just been fucking raped by the king, I've forgotten his name, King Francois, who's now King of France, who's, and they were supposed to be going, so Mary and Anne were supposed to be going with King Francois and Queen Claude to be Queen Claude's ladies in waiting, and Mary's begged Mary, so many Marys. Mary Boleyn's begged Princess Mary to take her back to England with her because she can't be around him. And Princess Mary says, yeah, I will vouch for you, come back with me. But Anne's like, nah, fuck that, I'm still going to court. So they're on their way to the Louvre now. Yeah, she's excited, but she's already said that she hates seeing King Francois because of what he's done to Mary, but obviously not enough to go back. She isn't painted very well in these books, and I will say that somebody messaged me after I said that she wasn't depicted particularly well in the Catherine of Aragon book. Someone on, one of you lovely lot on, followed me on Instagram, messaged me to say I'm surprised at her depiction of Alison Weir's depiction of Anne Boleyn, because in the non-fiction book, which I think is called The Lady in the Tower, which I'm also hoping to listen to this month, she's very complimentary of Anne Boleyn. So yeah, I don't know if it's going to be well, but yeah, I mean, I've read not that very much, but enjoying it as ever. We're off to the cinema tonight to watch the new Doctor Strange film, or the new Marvel film, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. David's actually at the cinema now. He's already watched it today. I'm going to join him and watch it this evening again with him. And yeah, so probably no more reading. Maybe I'll fit in another one. What do you reckon? The next one, the chapter 4, carries 15:15 and covers 15:15 and 15:16. Oh, it's not actually as long as I thought it would be. 9 pages. I might be able to slip that in before I go. Oh hi, I'm not in. Well, I'm in Anne Boleyn colours, I guess, because I'm in green today. But I'm actually about to start sorting out my wardrobe. So there's no. I'm going to go that way. And that's going on Instagram, so I just need to get things a little bit ready before I do that. But I just thought I'd check in, because the reason I've got this in is because I'm going to try on stuff, and I feel like this is quite a good trying on outfit. I am now up to over page 100, and Anne is now working as a lady-in-waiting for Katherine of Aragon. What I've learnt about Anne in the last sort of few chapters is that she is... she's definitely forward-thinking for a woman of her time. She's interested in sort of early feminism. They're not referring to it as feminism, but like, why can't a woman be the next in line for the throne? And she's spoken to sort of Princess Marguerite, and there's a writer that she's very fond of who is sort of billed as an early feminist. I'm just seeing if I can find the name of that writer. It's Christina de something. Christine de Pizan. She's an Italian... Oh! Was that for us? No. Italian writer at the French court, an early feminist. She's also sort of ahead of her time in terms of fashion and stuff. She says quite often other women in the court are copying her dresses and the differences she makes to her dresses, and now she's returned to England, everyone's like, oh, well, her French style's very cool, and she's noticed that people are copying her dresses already, and she's very sort of has interests in poetry and artwork and things like that. And I feel like we're being built up to find her quite an accomplished woman. She's also got no interest in men at all. Absolutely no interest in men. Her father's already tried to set her up to get her married, and she said she managed to talk her father out of doing that. And she's currently at court with Katherine and Henry, and she's saying she can't believe how many people are how many women are looking at Henry with like a little, and finding him attractive, and she doesn't find him attractive at all. So yeah, an interesting picture is being built of her, one that I wasn't expecting, but yeah, we'll see where it unfolds. But anyway, got to sort my wardrobe out now. Bye. Hi. Little check-in about the old Anne Boleyn. I'm Anne Boleyn going to my sister's birthday barbecue today, so I've still got the Anne Boleyn buns in, and the red lipstick, and the L necklace, and green checks, but I wasn't going to wear this eyeshadow today. I thought I had a greenier one here, but I don't. I don't think that might be the only one I've got. Shall I do it? It's gonna be, no, I'm not. I'm gonna go for like a more nudie shade, because I'm still Anne Boleyn, obviously, but just not with the eyeshadow on. So just to fill you in about how far I'm getting in with the book, I've just got to the point where Anne Boleyn has decided with Henry Percy, who's also known as Harry. Previously I thought that was a thing that maybe just Prince Harry had done, but seemingly throughout history, if your name is Henry, you're often referred to as Harry. Henry VIII himself is a example of that. She'd done a pre-contract with him, wanted to get married. She'd been feeling a bit sort of fruity around him when she saw him. She fancied him quite a lot, but she's just been told, no, the king doesn't agree with that, by Cardinal Wolsey, who we all know is a right bore from Katherine of Aragon and just wants to get in the king's ear all the time. And the king sent her away because she's not to marry Harry Percy. He's been betrothed to somebody else. Meanwhile, the king's raped Mary Boleyn, which is horrific. She'd already been raped by King Louis, I think. So, and now she's pregnant, and she's pretty sure it's the king's son. So this sort of background, which I had nothing around, like, to know about, that Anne would feel so much distant because she hates him. She hates him for what he's done. She hates him for what he's done to Mary. She hates him, Mary Boleyn I'm talking about. She hates him for not allowing her marriage to go ahead. So the fact that it's all going to turn around and she's actually going to be quite in love with him, well, that's blown my mind quite a lot, actually. So yeah, so she's just been sent away from court. She's going back to Hever Castle. I've been to Hever Castle. David and I went last year. I wish I was going this year. We're just so busy at the moment. Every weekend we've got to seem to have something on. It would have been really fun to visit Hever Castle. Just spat at the excitement of the prospect of visiting Hever Castle. So yeah, but as I said, it's my sister's birthday today. Happy birthday, Charlotte. We're going to my mum and dad's for a barbecue. I'll take the Anne Boleyn book with me, but I don't know how much reading I'll get done, particularly as my niece is there and she quite favours me. So there we go. That's how things are going with Anne Boleyn. That's how I am with Anne Boleyn. Anne Boleyn update. She's got a Katherine of Aragon top. This top is going to be, it's not the Katherine of Aragon top anymore. It's going to be the Six Tudor Wives top because it goes with everything. No, it's not going in the bin. With green trousers. Hiya! So, Anne Boleyn. No space buns today. Didn't have time in the morning, just stuck it in the old plats. But today, on my lunchtime, I started the second part of Six Tudor Queens, which is called... Oh God, she can't find what it's called. A Spirit Worthy of a Crown. Now, Anne Boleyn, I can't believe this, she has literally got no interest in Henry VIII. None at all. She is, I would go as far as to say she's repulsed by him. She does not like him. She's not interested. Have I already told you that her sister had one of his kids? He raped her and got her pregnant. He's saying, I'm not a rapist. Your sister wanted to do it. He's absolutely infatuated by her. And according to this depiction, she's got no interest. She is the actual epitome of treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen, because she's like, leave me alone, leave me alone. They've just got to the bit, so this is something that I've visited in both the Katherine of Aragon book, in The Spanish Princess, of her, of Henry VIII putting something on his horse when he's jousting that means, like, I can't remember, it's like a word, a phrase, where basically he's like, I love you, and she's like, oh my God, he's just put this on this horse, I'm not even interested, etc, etc. I'm going to have a bath tonight. Minnie's over there. Oh, hey, Minnie! No. I'm going to have a bath tonight and read a little bit more, but yeah, I'm about a third of the way through. And so far, no interest in him. The only other thing that's happened is that somebody else who is in love with her... Oh, she keeps... Something I will say that I have not enjoyed about this book was that she'll one minute be saying she's sort of like one of the most fashionable chicks in town. She's got these new necklines and her hair looks great in this new veil she's got. And is she going to be able to wear the French veil and blah, blah, blah. And then the next minute she's like lamenting, saying, why would Henry be interested in plain old me? When she's already acknowledged that she's not plain. And it's already said as well that she's keeps using her eyes. Not on Henry, on other people. So... who is it? There's also a little bit of like chat around, like nothing's happened and nothing's been said explicitly, but I feel like there's a little bit of like attraction between her and her brother, which I think I said earlier on as well. Who is the guy who is in love with her? Tom someone. Tom. Everyone has literally got the same name here. Tom. He's a poet. He's just being referred to as Tom. You're still married, Tom, Anne reproved him. But before she could stop him, he reached across and snatched a black lace that was hanging out of her pocket. Attached to it was a small jewel that she wore as a pendant. My token, he cried, a token of the love you bear for me. No, give it back. Too late. They both became aware. Oh, and then the king watches them. But yeah, so Tom is... Tom's also in love with her. They all fancy her, but she's super plain. Anyway, non-Anne Boleyn related stuff. So I'm going to read some more tonight. Still haven't watched any more of the Tudors, just because I don't think I've had a chance. Maybe I'll finish off that first episode while David's in the bath. You going to have a bath, David?
I might jump in after.
He might jump in after me. I've got a new bath bomb, so I might do. And I really want to watch The Other Boleyn Girl this month as well, but I feel like I want to get more into this before I watch The Other Boleyn Girl, because I'd rather read and find stuff out than watch and find stuff out. So I might even watch it once I finish. But, guys... I ordered new towels. David and I haven't had new towels for ages, and our towels had got.
Without me, are you?
No, I'm going to reveal. I'm going to do because I picked David's patterns myself as a surprise. So we ordered new towels because our towels were, well, they just got a bit stinky, guys. You know, like when something.
Like over 2 years.
Yeah. So here's all of the towels in here. Where are you? Oh, you're there. Don't you want to come here for the reaction? I'll show my towels first. So I've got a hair towel. This is nice, isn't it?
That is nice.
Not nice when I'm on my period though. This is
Not
David
period,
and I.
nice.
David and I have to have bath sheets because we're big boys and girls, aren't we? So that's a hair towel. So I've got a bath sheet and a towel of that. David doesn't have hair towels because
I don't need them.
Yeah, they're just from Asda, guys. I never know where to buy bath things from.
Well, the last
100%
set
cotton.
from Asda.
Yeah, the last set lasted like
They've
2.5
done
years.
Yeah.
So, but they've just got to the set where they're a bit sticky. Now these ones are very. I said no seasonal towels, and look, I bought them with sunshine on.
But that's nice.
But they're nice, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they don't smell. This one.
And
Oh yeah, it's towel. Oh, it's only printed on one side. This one, look. Oh no, it's sort of printed on that side. Okay, so I've got sunshines and a lilac check. I'm very into lilac at the moment. And then the two I bought David. Do you want to come up and stand up here with your eyes closed and I'll pass them to you? Eyes closed. This is the first one.
It's on the little lions.
Yes.
I like that. That's very
Do you like
nice.
that one?
Yeah.
And then
I
it's
do.
this colour on the other side.
Oh, lovely. It's a lovely colour.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a nice treat, is it?
Yeah.
And then close your eyes for the
Hold
next
on,
one.
let me fold this up.
Oh.
You fold it up.
I'll fold it up and you just stand there with your eyes closed while I give you the next lot.
Want to help?
No, I've got it all under control.
Yeah, I like that. That's
They're
nice.
very fluffy.
Yeah.
And then the last one, very cute.
Is this one you're most excited about?
Well, I just think you'll like this one the most. Ready, open.
Oh, the otters.
Yeah.
I do like that a lot.
Looks nice, doesn't it?
It's nice. Thank you.
So there's David's 2 towels and my 2 towels.
Very excited. You're not a bit jealous of my towels?
Well, I wanted you to have these ones. I thought you would really like them.
Thank you. I do like them.
I knew you would. The other one was a ladybird one that I was going to get you, but I decided on the otters and the thingies. Minnie, we've got a new house for you. She'll love this. Does Minnie want to get in her new house? Anyway, that's probably the Anne Boleyn update. Maybe. Also, I've got this on, which is Anne Boleyn, isn't it? An initial necklace. Maybe I'll give you an update when I'm in bed if I've read much more. But at the moment, nothing's happening. He's after her. She's not interested. Which is honestly, like, I've never heard that in the whole, everything I knew about Anne Boleyn. I thought she was a temptress out to get him. But not according to Alison Ware. Bye. I'm that Boleyn girl. I might have sung that exact same thing when I came onto the video yesterday. This is very Anne Boleyn, isn't it, this dress? It's a dress. It's from Topshop maternity range. Fear not, there's no child in here. I've just got a lovely big tummy that fits into maternity range clothes. So there we go. And wore it with black tights. The only thing is it's got this back at the back. And I kept thinking my bra was burning out all day, but hey. I don't think much more's happened in terms of Anne Boleyn. The book's in there. I came in here to film with David and he said he didn't want to be on the film because he looked sweaty. Yeah, so Anne Boleyn has now had the sweating sickness, and there was a bit of well, like, I feel like there was a lot of hype around it. She was ill for about 6 hours, so I think I've been ill for longer than 6 hours. She was fine. Her dad and brother also had it, but both were fine. And yeah, I don't think much more's happened. There's still, she's sort of back and forth to Hever Castle every time Henry gets a bit sort of involved. She seems a bit more into him than before. She stopped, her and Katherine are being polite to one another, but she's not a lady in waiting for her anymore. But yeah, there's not much more to add. David is, it's only 5:15 and David's already got dinner on because we're going out to the cinema tonight to watch Cabaret. Life is a cabaret, old chum. David and I have never seen it. Why is it on the cinema at the moment, David?
I think it's like 20, I think it's an anniversary of some sort.
It's some sort of anniversary, and David and I have never seen it. We saw it was coming on at the cinema, so we thought we'd book to go and see it. So we're going to go and watch that. That's why we're having early din-dins. And then maybe a little bit more reading tonight, but maybe not. But yeah, I'll check in with you tomorrow. I don't think I've got a green outfit to wear tomorrow, so that's a worry, isn't it? And I still haven't got my Anne Boleyn buns in, because that's a bit hard work in the morning when I could just do this. Yeah, I'll let you know how I'm getting on. About halfway through the book now. So yeah, might be back in the 6 t-shirt tomorrow if I can't. But I don't even think the 6 t-shirt's clean, guys. I think it's in the wash. Might be not green or Anne Boleyn outfit tomorrow. Imagine. Hi, I'm recycling my Anne Boleyn outfits now because I've already worn this once, but I tell you, it's so comfy. I really think I'm gonna get a lot of wear out of it. It's just really, really comfy. Hi, just to let you know, just a little update. I didn't update you at all yesterday on how I was doing, which was fortunate really, because I wasn't wearing an Anne Boleyn outfit yesterday and my hair wasn't done in this Anne Boleyn style either. Well, lots has been happening, but all of the same sort of ilk. So they're still not married. So we're this far through now, over halfway, not quite 2/3, and they're still not married, which also maybe goes against what I thought had happened between them, in that I thought it was very much a flash in the pan thing. I thought we fancied her and just decided to divorce Catherine and get with her. But this has been literal years in the making, that Anne and Henry are going to get together. We're in 1532 now, and she's 30, he's 41. They're saying, they're hoping that this year's the year they're going to get married. He's worried because he's 41 now and he's not sure quite how much juice he's got in the tank. She's worried because she's 30, and in those days it was sort of uncommon for women above 30 to fall pregnant. But yeah, it's been back and forth. It's been really back and forth. Her relationship with her sister is still not good. She's been back and forth to Hever. Like, the Queen, until very recently, has been living alongside the King, and she's been getting very annoyed with the Queen being around, Catherine being around and things like that, because she wants to be seen. She has not got public support. They've just gone through a sort of attack on the castle, on where she was. I can't remember where she was when it happened, but like thousands of people turned up, and it looked like all women, and it wasn't. It was like men dressed as women trying to attack her, and they call her Anne Boleyn. We don't want Boleyn as our queen, they shout that. But yeah, she hasn't got much public support, and yeah, it's been wild. It's been sort of back and forth and back and forth. But yeah, I still can't believe that this far on she still isn't his wife. And now I'm getting to the point now that she's 30. I know she didn't live to old age, so I imagine when he marries her, there won't be much time unfolding before he decides that he wants a, yeah. So yeah, it has surprised me a lot, her sort of life and what I thought it was and what it wasn't. She's also really taken a turn in terms of, she was very sort of like, felt a bit embarrassed about how she was going to be queen and she didn't fancy Henry and stuff like that. I will maintain throughout this that there's not much sexual attraction from Anne's point of view to Henry. He fancies her a lot, and he really does still, he is infatuated with her, a king's obsession, and she's very sort of like, can't really be bothered, talks to him, like everyone's always astonished the way she speaks to him, considering he's the queen, he's the king. And yeah, she's just got no real interest in him. Her interest is in being queen and in getting the crown. I'm not going to hang around for too long tonight. It's going to be a quick check-in. Number one, because I've got a really sore throat. Really sore throat. Number two is that the washing machine's going wild. I put my slippers in the washing machine because they smell. So I'm just seeing if that makes any difference. Anyway, just to check in to tell you, Anne's queen, and she's had a daughter, Queen Elizabeth. She's not the queen yet, obviously, but that's her. She was very worried about telling Henry, well, that Henry finding out that it was a girl, but he was very sympathetic, and said, she is my heir until we have a son, and we will have a son. He's obsessed with having sons. But yeah, get into the business end of it now, because I know I'm on page 362. And it finishes on 507, so we've just got just over 100, oh no, 150 pages, excuse me. And I know that they're not married all that long. He's already taken a mistress, somebody that he used to have it off with before he even got with Anne, a long time ago. So he's already got a mistress. But yeah, but other stuff that I've been, oh, it's gone dark. Other stuff that I've been doing, I've also started listening to the audiobook of The Other Boleyn Girl. I hope to watch the film of The Other Boleyn Girl. The Other Boleyn Girl, when I said I was listening to it, a lot of people messaged me on Instagram to say it's really, really good and really entertaining, but like it is not historical in any way. It opens at the point where Edward Stafford is being executed for treason. So when Henry is still married to Catherine and seemingly things are good, and in this he takes on Mary Boleyn, Anne's sister, as his sort of mistress and love interest. He sort of likes the chase and stuff, whereas in this book it's very much said that he rapes Mary on a number of occasions, and Mary bears him a son, a daughter. So yeah, I still haven't watched any more of the Tudors. I watched the first episode and a little bit of the second episode. Didn't love it, but we'll give it another go, excuse me. But yeah, that's how things are going. It's Friday night now. So hopefully I'll get this done this weekend. God, this sore throat, I wonder where that's come from. But yeah, that's how it's going so far. Yeah, so they're just baptising Elizabeth, and Henry was saying that he was, because they thought they were so sure it was a boy, Henry was like, oh, we're going to have a fireworks display. Fireworks then? Imagine. And we're going to, there's going to be a tournament and stuff, and then when it was a girl, although pleased, he was like, actually, we're not going to have any fireworks and we're not going to have a tournament. So yeah, so I'm going to read a little bit more before I go to bed. David's watching Baywatch, the film. Loud. But yeah. Go and see if my slippers are clean. They still smell. Oh, hi! I think this might be the last day of the Anne Boleyn blog. Reading blog. Reading blog, I mean. I've got less than 100 pages to read. I'm on page 434 and it ends on 507. And yeah, it's sort of, power is slowly slipping away from Anne. I'm just going to fold up some of my washing while I talk to you. I've also, in terms of Anne Boleyn outfits, I've got dungarees on, which I don't think Anne Boleyn would... Actually, I'll remind myself a little bit of Mamma Mia. I think it might be the hair up in a little ponytail and stuff. But yeah, I've got this top that I bought secondhand on Depop, green checks, and then I've still got my L necklace on. So yeah, Anne Boleyn. Yeah, so... What has surprised me the most out of everything is how Henry really played the long game in terms of getting Anne. It went on for much, much longer than I expected. Like 8 years he was courting her, basically, really wanting to be married to her, like absolutely infatuated with her. And then, as is the case, soon as he's got her, his interest wanes almost immediately. Is particularly, like, she gives birth to Elizabeth and then miscarries 3 times, 2 of which are sons. And yeah, it's just so, I mean, I guess it was a different time then, wasn't it? But how much reliance they have on things being the will of God, and how they sort of make themselves believe things. So one thing that Anne's made herself believe is that she'll never give birth to a boy all the time Catherine's alive. So, and she truly believes that, and I just find that mad. Also, something that's come up in this book, which I hadn't heard before and wasn't mentioned in the Catherine of Aragon book, is that George Boleyn has pretty much admitted to poisoning Catherine. I thought Catherine died of probably cancer, and actually in the sort of the stuff that I'd heard about her up until that point meant that she died. By the way, this is my sponge cloth. Look how it's so absorbent when it dries like a bit of old paper. And yeah, and in this book he's admitted to murdering her. So whether that's like creative license, but I know that George Boleyn also gets beheaded. That was something I knew before I went into the book. Can I fold that? No, not really. And another thing is that I didn't realise that there would be a Jane Seymour overlap. So he is already entertaining Jane Seymour. She's out and about, and Anne's caught him having a smooch with Henry's hand on the boob. So yeah, he'd already got his eye on Jane Seymour before Anne had been beheaded. So much mini fluff on everything. I mean, this is a pillow that she sleeps on, but so much mini fluff. That can go outside and then some birdies can make some nests from it. more. So yeah, so like I say, I'm hoping to finish it today. It's Sunday morning. We've had a lazy Sunday morning. I've done my online Tesco shop. I baked some sourdough buns, and they are as flat as pancakes. They taste delicious, but they're as flat as pancakes. And my sister has been baking a cake with my niece, so they're going to bring some cake round for a little snack-em. And then I think we're going to my mum and dad's for dinner. But yeah, I'm going to crack on with reading as much as I can. Another thing I wanted to say is that I watched the second episode of The Tudors yesterday. I think I was a little bit more into it yesterday, but I wonder if it was because I enjoyed The Spanish Princess so much that I haven't been loving The Tudors, but I will continue with it because I know it goes throughout his reign. Anne is already appearing in The Tudors, so I'm not behind in terms of my reading. And actually, I'm not going to read the Jane Seymour book till July, so I've got plenty of time to watch all of the Tudor stuff before Jane Seymour enters the scene. That's that going down. So yeah, that's that. I best just get on with some reading then. Bye. Anne Boleyn, done. God, makes a loud noise, doesn't it? I finished reading the last of 6 Tudor Queens, Anne Boleyn, A King's Obsession today on my lunch break at work. I only had about 20 pages. I was so tired last night. We watched a Spider-Man last night, so I probably would have finished it, but we watched Spider-Man and then I just went to bed. So yeah, I was really saddened by the end of this. So by the time she gets sort of, what's the word? Where she's been, that they've decided that she has committed treason and that she has slept with all of these men, none of which in this book she slept with. Whether or not she did, she said she hadn't betrayed Henry in body, but she might have thought, she doesn't say that, but like what she's saying is that she might have thought about having relations with particularly Henry Norris. But yeah, her having to go to the Tower and then thinking that she's going to be killed one day, waking up expecting to be killed by 9 o'clock and sort of like making her peace with it. They were saying originally they were going to like, oh, Minnie's jumping up there so she might make the camera wobble. Are you gonna, Minnie? Come on, come over here. They were saying that originally the plans were maybe to set fire to her until she died, which was awful. Then they decided that they would behead her. So like her sort of making peace with that and being like, well, I just can't wait to. Also, her brother gets her brother gets beheaded as well the day before. So she's thinking, I'll be with my brother soon. And then 9 o'clock comes around and no one's come to get her. And then they say it's going to be noon, and then noon comes and goes. So sort of like just all this sort of like mental torture she's going through, and then she doesn't actually get killed that day, she gets killed the next day. But the last sort of beheading scene is really grisly, really wasn't expecting it, because the rest of the book I know times were grisly then, but the rest of the book had been quite sort of mild, I guess. But yeah, very grisly. But I enjoyed it, as I did with Katherine of Aragon. Did I bond with Anne as much as I did Katherine of Aragon? No, I don't think I did. And I also think that might be something to do with the thoughts Alison Weir has on Anne Boleyn, because I don't think we were ever sort of allowed to sort of find a friend in her in the way that I did when I was reading about Katherine of Aragon, even though there was much less sort of development of Catherine's personality, whereas as Anne had a shorter life but the book is the same length, you get more about hearing about Anne. But some of the thoughts she has, particularly towards the end of the book, are quite spiteful. So yeah, I enjoyed it. The big takeaway for me was that I didn't realise quite how long the sort of pursuing of Anne Henry went through. Sort of 8 years of just wanting to make her his wife, and basically from when he marries her, within sort of 4 years he's had enough of her and beheads her. So like I found that I didn't realise it was quite that quick compared to the pursuing of her. I thought it was what I thought was that he finds her, he fancies her, wants to divorce Katherine and gets with her quickly and then finds her. So I thought it happened the other way around. I thought he'd be with her for a good few years before he decided that he wanted to move on, but no. I also didn't realise that there was some overlap between Jane Seymour and Anne Boleyn, and I think my thoughts on Jane Seymour. Well, I won't tell you my thoughts on Jane Seymour because that'll be the next vlog. So I think we'll end it here. So there we go. My reading vlog of Alison Weir, Six Tudor Queens, Anne Boleyn, A King's Obsession. I will link the Katherine of Aragon vlog down below if you haven't seen that already, because this is going to be a series. And I'm going to be reading the Jane Seymour book in July. So we've got a little month off in June because I'll be concentrating on June Austen. But yeah, looking forward to reading that already and hope you enjoyed this too. So see you all again soon for another booktube video. Goodbye!